Hi guys, I thought of doing an on-chain analysis video so that you guys can have a better understanding on exactly how these work, rather than just reading a report. So first of all, let's look at the exchange net position change. Okay, so what we can see is we did have a little bit of accumulation, but we have started to increase our selling. Okay, so a lot of Bitcoin is now flowing into exchanges to be sold. So I do believe that long as we are seeing green, the chances of going to 39.5k are still valid. So we, according to this, it is quite possible that we still have not nailed the bottom. And yeah, okay, so we saw past few days, of course, the selling, Bitcoin flowing into exchanges has reduced, but overall we are seeing more Bitcoin flowing into exchanges rather than going out. Okay, so definitely seeing 39.5k is still on the cards. So if we look at Ethereum, this is just crazy. Okay, this is just crazy. We're seeing like so much Ethereum just flowing in. We didn't even see this much Ethereum flowing into exchanges to be sold, uh, even during May. Okay, so I do expect Ethereum to see 2,700, 2,800 in the next few weeks, with Bitcoin going lower. So that's something to prepare for. I know it's not something we want to see. We have extremely high hopes for Ethereum, but we have to remain rational and read the data. Okay, data communicates that a lot of Ethereum is flowing into exchanges to be sold. So seeing prices go down, and like we're still increasing, right? We're not even seeing a decrease in the amount of Ethereum flowing into the exchanges. So seeing Ethereum go lower is very, very possible at this point. So the next thing we want to be looking is the number of Bitcoin, so for example, the number of addresses with balance greater than 10k. So these are the wallets that have more than 10,000 10,000 Bitcoin in them. So what we can see is these, like the whales, okay, whales and institutions and stuff like that. So we can see, what something good to notice is, even though we are still going down, the whales are still accumulating. The accumulation is still going on. Okay, so what this means is they probably know something that we don't. Okay, so if they are accumulating still, they're not going to do that if they believe that Bitcoin is going to go 25k this year. So they're accumulating, which means it's good news that, yeah, sure, we go a little lower from the bottom, but there's huge upside potential for Bitcoin for this year still. Okay, we saw when we were nearing our March to July, this dip, we saw those whales start selling. Okay, so we're not seeing that here, so that's good news. So if we look at addresses with, so wallets that hold more than 1,000 Bitcoin, they are still horizontal movement, right? So there's no huge spikes in selling, there's no huge spikes in buying. So this is just good news, I would say. This is something good. So we don't have to worry that much that we're going to, there's a potential to go into a multi-year bear market. It's possible, but the chances are quite low according to what these charts are telling us. Okay, so if we look at wallets with over 100 Bitcoin, these guys are selling. Okay, so what we would like to see to form a bottom is a change in this direction. Okay, so we're still going. So still, wallets with over 100 Bitcoin still do have impact on the market. Okay, so we are still going lower. So I do see 39.5k in the short term. I do see the bearish market in the short term, but long term, when we look at what the whales are doing, what the institutional capital is doing, I do expect huge upside for the coming months, I would say, not weeks but months. So the next thing we want to look at is, okay, actually let's look at what retail is doing. Okay, retail would be between maybe greater than 1 Bitcoin or greater than, yeah, I would say we can look at the greater than 1 Bitcoin. Okay, now we can see that, yeah, people did sell here, but we're still accumulating. People are still buying. So if they're still buying even though we're dipping, that's still good news, right? People are still accumulating a lot of Bitcoin. So what we are seeing here is the futures open interest. Okay, so generally, if we are not at extremely high levels. Okay, so between, I would say, 16,500,000 to around 12 million is a good point to be in, so we are not over leveraged. Okay, so right now we are at around 15.6 million. Okay, so that's a pretty good point to be. So we're not over leveraged. So is there potential for downside? Absolutely. 39.5k is still on the charts, but seeing massive dips, to 30k or 25k, that's highly doubtful from what we are seeing here. Something else I want to show you guys is the futures perpetual funding rate. So what this means is, if we are green, that means long positions are losing, and if we are red, short positions are losing. So right now, people are still going long on the market but losing. So I do expect, once we see these green bars start going down, and maybe like seeing some red bars. So on the 17th of December, people shorted the market and lost, right? That was the one time that the shorts lost more than, in this time period, the shorts lost more than the longs. So that's what we want to see is, once the green bars start decreasing, if we start seeing red bars, that's great. Okay, so right now we are seeing people going long on Bitcoin, kind of paying the shorts. So the next one I want to look at is the 90-day coin days destroyed. Okay, so what this means is, if the coins that are being sold now are coins that have been bought 90 days ago, so that's 3 months. Okay, so people that bought 3 months ago are starting to sell now. Okay, so what we want to see is a decrease in this. Okay, we don't want to be seeing people buying Bitcoin 90 days ago start selling, right? So we want to see this trend start to go down. Okay, so let's see coins day destroyed. So we're not seeing huge spikes, so which is really good. Okay, so the last time we saw a huge spike was on 30th of July and September 27th, right? So this is where people sold a lot. So we're not seeing any huge spikes right now, so that means people are not selling a whole lot. So that's something good to look at, right? So we could potentially be forming the bottom. So looking at this, okay, so if we are under 1, that means the coins that are being sold as at a loss. Okay, and if it is above 1, the coins that are being sold are at profit. So right now we are seeing people, the amount of Bitcoin that's being sold is being sold at a loss. So that means if they bought around, let's say around here, so at like 50k, and now they're selling around 43k, they're selling at a loss, right? So that's what this chart means. So what we want to see is a shift in this direction. We want to see an uptrend. Okay, that's what we are looking for. So people are still, the markets, I would say this communicates how people are getting affected by the market. So people are now selling at a loss. So that's not what we want to be seeing. Okay, we want to see this downtrend quickly shift up. Something else that I want to show you guys is Google Trends. Okay, so we can see that right now we are at kind of an all-time, almost an all-time low of searches. So what this means is that it's not actually retail people that are buying into Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. It's institutional capitals. That's what's happening. Okay, so if we see a high number of increase in Google Trends searches for Bitcoin or Ethereum and stuff like that, then we know that's where retail is starting to flow in. So the last time we saw that was just like just at the May dip. Okay, so this is when retail started, it was crazy. Everyone wanted to know what Bitcoin was. Children, university students, anybody, everybody. So that's retail. Okay, so that's when retail was like really really high, and then we're like just all-time lows at this point. So it's not retail that's flowing in right now. It's institutional capitals. Okay, so if we look, I want to see Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum, let's see what the big boys are doing. Okay, so this is not what we want to be seeing. Okay, people with over 10k Ethereum, this is not what we want to see. Okay, we want to see people holding on and not selling, right? We want to see a decrease in this. Okay, we want to see a decrease. We don't want to see people big whales selling their Ethereum. Okay, that's why we saw, now that we know it's institutional capital that's doing this, participating in all this. We saw the amount of Ethereum that was flowing in, right, to be sold. So this is probably whales and institutional capital that's flowing into, institutional Ethereum that's flowing in to be sold. So that's not what we want to be seeing right now. We want to see this downtrend break and start an uptrend of people, less people selling. Okay, so if we look at this is at least all right, I would say. Nothing huge. People are not, it's not huge spikes or a huge downtrend, so it's neutral. Okay, so that's something good. What we are looking for is for the big boys over 1k, over 10k Ethereum to start, the less of them to start selling, right? That's what we are looking for right now. So in terms of what is expected to happen based on the on-chain analysis is definitely more downside to come with. That's for sure from what we can see. So 39.5k for Bitcoin is still on the cards as per the market update. 2,700, 2,800 for Ethereum is definitely on the cards as well. We will have to see on-chain data when Ethereum comes to 2,728 to see whether we're still going to go down, right? Because from what we just saw, it's definitely going to happen. It seems like it's going to happen because a lot of Ethereum is flowing into the exchanges, and that's what we have analyzed for today. And I hope you guys understood the indicators and the tools we have used today. So when you all read the market update on-chain analysis reports, you all will be able to better visualize how I am presenting them. All right, thank you very much. Good night.